Welcome. So, everyone is talking about this meaning crisis in society, in all aspects of life. You hear it from all the podcasters, big titles, the meaning crisis in science, in physics, in quantum mechanics, in consciousness, whether consciousness comes first or matter comes first. And we've talked about that many times, but now I want to talk about my meaning crisis. I have a meaning crisis tonight because I just got done with a family visit of my most beloved people that I'm so sorry to think this way or feel this way, but it just seems like every time I get together with loved ones, it's like a bittersweet experience of almost like wanting to detoxify afterwards. And I wonder if that's something that you guys feel and that is not just me. So, yeah, so we got together at the end of the holiday season with the kids, with, the nieces and the nephews and some of the family members. And they're like in line to go to ice skating. And you look at all these kids, these teenage kids and all ages in the sky ice skating ring in this beautiful shopping center. And it's like I'm looking at the crowd and it's like everybody is like just like following a certain uh, madness. Like it's a crowd madness going to get satisfaction in something. Okay, in this case it's, oh, we're going ice skating, otherwise life is empty and meaningless. Because they're all standing there, you look at their faces, they're all like sad and they're all like waiting to be happy, because they're going to do something exciting. So
good observation.
where is that, like in my estimation, I truly feel like meaning is life and life is meaning. They're not separable. It's not like, oh, life needs to have meaning. We need to find meaning for life. Life is empty and meaningless. But it's like, if you ponder, if you just if you just breathe and you just like observe and you quiet the mental chatter and the indoctrinated mental construct, there's like nothing you can really seek. And there's no like light at the end of the tunnel. There's nothing that you can actually find that'll make you happy. I don't think there's anything. I think it's a lie, and it's a pretense to say, when I do this, when I find this, when I accomplish that, when I get there, when I do this and that, then and only then I will be accomplished. I'll feel fulfilled, and then and only then I'll live my best life after having found that meaning, that resolution, that result. So anyhow, it seems to me that
That's all good.
life should be 100% meaningful at all time, and that no circumstantial thing can make it more or less meaningful, because life is perfect. Life is the definition of life is perfection. It's like saying God needs meaning.
So let me ask you a question now.
God is life. Life is God.
Let me ask you a question now.
So I'm just pondering this with all of you, and really want to get your feedback as to what you think about this. Like, have you thought about it this way?
So may I ask you a question?
Yes.
So should we really feel that life, because you use that word, should,
Uh-huh.
right? Should we really always feel that life is meaningful? That you said that life is something that is inherently meaningful, and we must and should feel that it is so, and we must be happy.
No, I don't mean it like
Well,
the
you use
word
it.
should. The word
Yeah,
should
okay.
is just the wrong word, and must is the wrong word.
Okay.
It just is.
So do you feel it is meaningful now?
Absolutely. And everything is meaningful.
No, but I
Even
know.
people's unhappiness is meaningful.
I know, but do you feel it, or this is something you say and it's just like a true statement for you? Like, do you feel deep meaningfulness of life right now? Like a feeling, you know what I'm saying? It's like when someone
I feel it, yes. I feel it. I feel it very deeply. And it's like I'm saddened to live in a world on some level. I'm saddened to live in a world where I don't get to interact with people on that level. Like I can't just go. I feel like going on the street like tonight at this spectacle that we were engaged in. I felt like going and shaking everybody and and like looking at them and share, like tell them like, do you feel it? Do you feel life? Do you feel life at all? Because you don't have to do anything if you feel life. You don't have to stand in line for 2 hours to go to, pay $75 for 1 hour of ice skating.
So it seems like most of the time, most of us are waiting for happiness.
Yeah.
We're like in line for happiness.
Right.
In this line or in that line, in the movie theater line, in a baseball game line.
Or even in the university line for your final golden degree in the
future
golden frame.
Education, yes. And this, we are, basically what's going on, we are not questioning. Is that the case? Right? The question is simply, can I be content and joyful and happy and peaceful right here and right now, no matter what? Or I necessarily need to have some kind of entertainment or some kind of a reward or whatever it is, right? What I'm looking for to accomplish some kind of become successful at something. So there's the question, right? The question is, how will you answer? Because in this program right now, this is some kind of education that's quite different from a normal education. Normal education is about gathering knowledge, maybe mastering skills, and learning how to think for yourself, which is great. But there's another education, education where we examine life, examining life as it appears to us in our experience. So we have this experience of being alive, right? We have this tremendous experience going on. And when we were children, it was very exciting. It was very exhilarating. We were playful, we were spontaneous. And somewhere on the way, we lost it. We lost it life became much more habitual, much more monotonous, and not the mystery and magic of childhood got kind of faded. And then usually there's a teenage crisis followed. Like we are forced to fit into something else, into a different state, which is presented to us as adulthood. That process of fitting in involves schooling, education, gaining knowledge, learning skills. But what's missing in that process is actually examining what is happening to us. What happened to all those magnificent states of beingness which we experienced as children? And now, where are they? Are they gone completely? And life is just tainted by boredom most of the time? So we need that entertainment. We crave entertainment. We are craving.
Everyone's craving entertainment to be
Yeah.
happy. One sort of or another.
Or different substances which elevates our mood, mind-altering substances, and we see a different possibility. The different possibility lies in examining life, in questioning. Because what happened to us is when we were children, we were just listening to adults and we were inculcated by all kinds of ideas and point of views and beliefs and superstitions and all of that, right? And we couldn't think about all of that information which were automatically projected into our mind. We just absorbed it, and it kind of became us, right? So, and that which we never processed ourselves, because we never processed it ourselves, it's like a foreign body inside of our body, in our flesh. It's like, you have a splinter. It feels pain, right? So you have this countless mental splinters.
That's a good analogy.
Right?
Yeah.
And each of them causes pain. Why? Because it's not us. It's a foreign body injected into us. We are indoctrinated by all those beliefs and thoughts and ideas and superstitions and prejudices.
Is that why when kids get to a certain
and preferences
young age, they're like,
and and so who we are is lost, and it's covered by all this imposed on us information, which we now believe that it's ours, but it's really not. And the only way to find out that it's not is by examining our beliefs. So if you start with us examining your beliefs, you will experience gradually yourself as becoming lighter and lighter and lighter. You will be shedding the countless assumptions about things which are not true at all. And yet, you are taking them to be true. You are taking them to be true. And this is how your identity, your very identity, your sense of who you are, is created out of those assumptions. Assumptions which are completely sold to you by the environment in which you were growing up. So now, going back to, do you see what I'm saying? So every assumption, because it's not true, it's essentially false. It's some kind of approximation, right? But it's not the truth. And we believe that all of it is true. And because of that, we make grand errors about life. It's not just like one little assumption here and there, but out of those assumptions we form belief systems, which are
just the construct of our whole beingness.
which are obviously apparently false.
But like for example,
And now, because everyone believes that, and then people gather together in the same building and they said, we are all believers in this, right? We are all believers in the same thing, and then now we have a community of believers, and you know, in that community our life becomes easier. So we just like, now we involve in the countless amount of compromises, and and all of it is just in order to fit and to survive. So our life
social agreements.
becomes about survival. And so we sell our experience, the joyful experience alive, of being alive, right? The child has, for survival, right? So this is like a trade-off. You have to do it. They tell you, you have to do it. You have to fit into society. So you have to be accepted. And even in your own family. And that's how you started, right? And the reason you feel, because you are an individual first. You are a personality first. You never sold yourself for survival, right?
Well, some people do, but
Well, we are talking about your experience, your specific. So now you are gathering together with a group of people who completely sold their individuality, their originality, their playfulness, their spontaneity for survival, to fit in. And now they are just standing there on the skating rink, the kids are there, everyone is bored, trying to get some happiness out of something, you know, trying to, bring smiles in their faces when they see other people. And it doesn't feel authentic, doesn't feel real. And people say, well, that's what life is all about, this. Okay, from one thing they go to another. And so we will be going here from debunking one assumption after another. So after one assumption, if you have a question, then we will not give you an answer. What will be happening in this environment, you will be led into deeper question. When the surface assumption is given up, then there's a deeper assumptions kind of like become exposed. Now you have to address those assumptions. And again, this question, like, what is that? What's going on here? Now you don't see maybe something like, there's a lot of things. It's like some certain heaviness about life, right? You know what I'm saying? All you need to do is go layer by layer and debunk all the superstitions, assumptions, all the way to the bottom to the bottom of your own identity, your own personality, right? To who you really are, without need to fit in and to belong and to survive, right? So you have to face your the most rooted fear. The most rooted fear is fear of what? No one will guess that. Guess it. What is the most rooted fear?
Everybody thinks it's fear of death.
The fear
The fear
from
fear of rejection.
the fear beyond that. The fear from which all your motivations
Fear of failure. Fear
motivation. You wake up in the morning. Why do you go out of the bed? Because you have a motivation, right? There's a motivation there. So I would say that I wouldn't want to give it up easily. So would you try a little bit more yourself? Try to see.
If it's not fear of death, if it's not fear of rejection, if it's not fear of...
No, try to see. Ask yourself, why do I get up from bed? Why do I do what I do? What is the driving force of my life? And after this conversation, just keep asking yourself this question. It's very important to face it. Why? What is what motivates you in doing all the things you're doing all day long? Right? So, I would say that for most people, the main motivation...
Because you want to feel good about life.
Yes, feel good about life, that's true.
As a way of doing science, doing hardcore...
You want to feel good about your life, in your trajectory, and the feeling of fulfillment for what you accomplished that day.
But you...
What you set out, the goals you set out.
But you want to feel good. But you want to feel good about life because you don't feel good in the moment, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't want. There would be no desire to feel good, right? There would be satisfaction. So we act out of continuous dissatisfaction, right? So we have this dissatisfaction, which is deeply rooted in our existence, right? And that dissatisfaction motivates us into action. But that's a very stressful life to live.
Yeah.
That's not...
So you're saying people get up from the bed because they're dissatisfied?
Yes. Well, they're seeking satisfaction. They think that they will...
But how's that different than feeling that's seeking fulfillment?
Just a little slow. Satisfaction exists on many different levels, right? At first, we need to pay rent. We need to survive. We need to put food on the table, right? So that satisfaction of our physical needs and desires and so on and so on. But that would be very, very easy to accomplish. I would suggest that why it's not easy to accomplish it for most people is because the motivation why people get out of the bed, and motivation is it's about overcoming something, you know. It's about overcoming. So I would say that fear is the very foundation of our motivation. There's a fear.
Mm-hmm.
Fear of what? It's not even fears that we will not survive and we will not pay rent. The main motivation, the main fear is a fear of that which everyone pretends to want to have. I would love that. People are struggling for
fear
it.
of
People fight for it. People raise against dictatorship for it. And they call it freedom. And I would suggest that that's what most of us is
seeking beyond anything else.
We are afraid the most.
Afraid, yeah.
We are afraid most.
We're afraid the most of actual freedom, having freedom in our life. We pretend like it's the opposite. Oh, we want all the freedom. We want all that comes with freedom. That's what we think we want, but we're actually afraid of it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Not just afraid of it.
We're terrified of it.
Terrified of freedom.
Yeah.
We are terrified of freedom.
That makes sense. Because people certainly don't live like they love freedom.
And that fear of freedom we were inculcated with that.
Mm-hmm.
That's how everything is. That's how in fear of freedom we operate in life. When we see someone when we see a free person,
it's like they're considered weird.
Yeah, it's like what the hell is going on? Why are you smiling so much? Why are you happy so much? What happened to you?
Yeah.
You know, it's just like
people often think that I'm just totally weird.
Do you see what I'm getting at? It's like people who are free, they would look strange, right? They would like they are not part of
they'd go dance
normal,
like I do constantly.
Yeah,
Anywhere you want to dance, you dance.
If someone would go just dancing, just walking, dancing on the street, just dancing instead of walking, everyone would be looking strange. What is going on? Well, why not? Someone chose to walk like that. What's wrong with that? It's not against the law. It's not against anyone or anything. You know, why would you not enjoying just looking at it and say, well, that's an original, interesting thing. Maybe I should try the same thing. Instead we have immediate judgment. Maybe there's something is wrong with this person. Something is not right. Maybe he will turn towards us and do something strange and wrong. So anyway, that's how we are. We are on guard to free expression, and we are on guard, and we are suppressing free expression in our children, something which we will need to nurture in our children, because they are like that. They have free expression.
We're asking them to contain themselves.
But
not to laugh too much, not to.
By the time they reach teenage years, the freedom of expression is already, where is it, you know? That's why that's crisis. That's why we have school shootings. Someone who would have a freedom of expression, would we can go and get the gun and start shooting his schoolmates? No, he will never. But it's never brought up. They're asking, when these events happen, they always ask in the news,
They always ask,
what is the motive of the shooter? what is his motive? You know, the motive that you inculcated him, you know, indoctrinated him, right? And not just parents, but the entire educational system. We didn't nurture this person, and this person got so much withdrawn that he doesn't know where he is. Is it
that withdrawal turned into
is it a real life or
illness.
a video game, you know? And that's it. That's what happened. So anyway, I think we touched upon a few things in this podcast, and I hope you will get some questions out of it. Give us your questions, and we will continue exploring life, exploring our experience of being alive. This is place of exploration. It's like a Socratic dialogue, you know? That's what Socrates did. He asked questions. He was dissatisfied with the system of education of his time. And he was going and asking people questions about life.
And then he got accused of being weird.
Yeah.
Why is he asking these questions? And why is he
seducing? He is
the youth.
seducing
The
youth.
youth.
That asking questions is dangerous, and it's of course. And he got ultimately he got death sentence
because he was seeking fulfillment.
Yeah.
And freedom.
Seeking,
which is exactly what's missing.
He was seeking.
The free spirit is what's missing in society.
Yeah.
The free spirit, that's what I started talking about.
Yes,
the
yes.
free spirit is missing
Yeah.
in children of all ages. They're all, there's a lot of depression, and they feel they're suppressed and depressed, and that we're not nurtured in freedom, in just beingness. We're nurtured in doingness, not in beingness, in acting ethical, moral, and proper, rather than free, authentic, and full of love and laughter, which is what I love to do a lot, and that's considered weird too. So if we want to make a difference in this, in our life, in other people's lives, it's just like, what would you say? Just be as free and as unthoughtful of people's judgment as you want to be.
Well, acknowledge. Everything starts from acknowledgement that not everything is rosy in my life. If I would be now like 14, 15, 16 years old, and this is what I did when I was 14, 16 years old. Yes, I'm just like, am I alive to the extent that I could possibly be alive first before I go further and start getting education and getting involvement? Yeah, I just want to be alive. I want to be fully alive.
You want to feel life.
Right? I don't want to be part of herd, right? You have to see, you have to
Part
acknowledge.
of the herd.
You have to acknowledge that there's a herd.
Herd mentality.
Herd, just around, you are surrounded by herd, okay? We call it, there are people around us. Yeah, there are people, there are nice people, everything is nice. But also, all together, we are a herd. We are not consist of individuals, right? So when it's a herdal mentality. It's agreement reality of a herd. And we live inside of this agreement reality of a herd. So first thing to say to yourself, I just don't want to be part of the herd, no matter what. Okay? No matter what
but people are afraid of isolation. People are afraid to be alone. People are afraid to be judged.
Then be part of a herd.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want, okay?
Yeah. No, but I mean, that's the fear that holds them back.
Put few tattoos on your body. It pretends that you are not part of the herd. No, you are just part of the herd with your tattoos and whatever you're doing to yourself. No, that's not gonna help you. What will help you is taking stand for your life, for your aliveness. You have to take stand for your aliveness.
So what does that look like? Taking the stand for life. It means like just like you. We don't mean
acknowledge.
Oh, yeah. We
acknowledge that you are part of a herd.
We don't mean avoid people.
Acknowledge that you are part of the herd on every level. You are part of the herd of your family. You are part of the herd of your class. You are part of the herd of
your corporation.
Of whatever, workplace, or you're part of the herd when you are going to a stadium to watch a football game. You are cheering together. It's all herd, okay? You go to pub concert. It's a herd. Wherever you go, wherever individualism doesn't shine, it's a herd. You go to parade, you know, people parade.
Yeah.
Wherever people gather together, tomorrow they will be cheering on Times Square. You know, the ball will be falling, and people will be cheering and kissing each other. And the new year comes. What a foolish thing to do, to stand in the crowd in the freezing temperature for hours and hours, waiting for the stupid ball to come down. You know, how dumb can you be? You know, how stupid is that environment, you know?
We lived in New York.
What drew you to that?
Like.
What kind of forces? Ask yourself if you're there. Why am I there? What the hell brought me there? What's missing in my life that I'm standing here? What kind of miracles I'm waiting here now standing?
Well, what am I missing in my happiness?
What am I missing in my warm room? You know, having celebration with my friends, enjoying a good dinner, you know, and going to the cold and because this is supposed to, tomorrow I'll tell to my friends.
That's supposed to be exciting. It's for my Instagram.
I was there. I was in that crowd, you know. In those crowds all over the world, you know. When I lived in Russia, there was a huge line of people standing in line to see dead, mummified Lenin's body, you know. And they stood for hours. It was all around Times Square. And, you know, what was the point of it? You know, to see dead body, people stay for hours and hours and hours, for days sometimes, and then they go back to their country, to India or somewhere else, and say, "Oh, I saw Lenin in his mausoleum."
Well, now everybody wants a photo opportunity.
So I'm saying, we are so ridiculous people. So you have to, as individual, you're all individuals, especially young people. You're an individual. Don't let this hurt steal life from you. Okay? Your life is stolen. If you feel like emptiness inside, that's the first symptoms that your life is being stolen. Reclaim your life. Reclaim your life back. You are fully a person. Your life will unfold in a magical and mysterious way as a great adventure, you know? And you don't need to fit. You don't need to compromise.
You don't need to fit in.
Yeah, you don't need to fit in. Your life will show you the way how make life works. Life will be your guide. If you will not obey the crowd, then life will be your guide. If you are part of the crowd, life will abandon you. You know, and you will be on your own, miserable, sitting in your corner in some office or wherever you are, in investment place or wherever you are, you know, I mean...
Whatever corporate career lures you in.
Yeah, wherever you are. I mean, there are happy people who are doing wonderful things in the world. But I'm not talking about that. Those people found who they are. They read right books, they read Ayn Rand books, or Nietzsche, or Schopenhauer,
Dostoevsky,
or Tolstoy. I mean, and they really read those books. They absorb those books, okay? They absorb Sartre. You know, they absorbed all this beautiful, you know, mind-opening.
Carl Jung.
Carl Jung. And you know what I'm saying? the only way you can get that knowledge out of this book if you have question. Question has to come from you.
Inquiry.
Yeah, you have to be deeply dissatisfied by being part of the crowd.
And we want you to inquire into
Yes.
what we're saying.
Yes.
What is your inquiry into life?
Yes.
What is it?
And if you are Christian, read again words of Christ. When he said to people around him, every example he gave to people is about, don't be part of the crowd. Don't be some sheep following someone. No, stand on your ground. On Saturday,
Stand for your
you can do
truth.
good things on Saturday. And for that he got crucified. He broke the law. On Saturday, by Jewish law, you can't do good things. You can't do nothing. You can just put your ass down and don't do anything. No, that was a bullshit for Christ. So he rebelled. He said, no, your sheep fell into a hole and it's Saturday.
And you have to
rescue
save the
sheep. It's a good thing to do.
And by the way, if somebody allegedly admits adultery, you can't stone them to death.
Yeah, exactly.
No matter what.
Just look at yourself.
And they didn't
just
like
look
that
at yourself
yeah.
first before you blame anyone else.
That who's innocent amongst you shall cast the first stone.
Yeah. So he brought all these beautiful examples, and so they're coming at us from everywhere, from literature, from poetry, from art, from spirituality, and we just need to open yourself to. But the main thing is to don't settle for boredom. Don't settle for being, dependent on someone else or on the
and
crowd
their approval.
For your happiness. You don't need that. When you will give up that addiction, the happiness will rise and satisfaction from inside of your existence.
Yeah.
That's who you are. You know what I'm saying? You will know yourself as happiness, yourself as satisfaction. And then in that place, you will have completely different motivation. Your motivation came out of your talent, out of your vision, and they will lead you.
Guess what? Your talent will rupture like a volcano.
Then, because everything now is suppressed. It's suppressed, So, because now, if fear is there, that's it. Everything is buried out of fear. You want to feed in. So, it's like life upside down.
If there's a fear of lack of acceptance
society
by your social network or any kind of group that you feel like you should belong to.
Sorry.
And if there's a fear of losing that or not being accepted, guess what? That's a sure, subtle way of suffocating your creativity and your true potential will never manifest itself if you're under that sort of a cloud, that sort of an umbrella. That, I want to do this, but, your back of your mind, your mental chatter is constantly like, but, it keeps convincing you not to do what your heart tells you.
Absolutely.
Your mental construct, your background chatter keeps convincing you to do the right thing, That'll be accepted by your society, by your family, by your friends, by your whatever conglomerate entity you feel like you belong to or you should belong to. So,
and this is like a.
Sometimes you have to be a rebel. All I'm saying is sometimes you have to be a rebel. Like we brought the example of Jesus and others like that. And you get crucified in one way or another.
Tell you something.
I got crucified by my family.
I tell you something. It's not sometimes you have to be a rebel.
Yeah.
You have no choice. If you want to be alive, you are a rebel.
Or you're gonna
all the way
or you're going to be a dead man walking, right? You're going to be a dead man.
It's like it's either a climb or nothing. It's like a mountain of abundance. Mountain of the most desirable things in the world. And mountain of happiness, mountain of joy, mountain of relatedness. And the only thing you need to do is to step on this mountain and climb up. Climb up, circle by circle, you go higher and higher and higher. It's a climb, but it's worth it. But otherwise, what you're doing, you're on a flat surface, you're going around and around the mountain and coming back to the same place. You're going around and around, there's no satisfaction in it. You keep going up, and you don't know the vertical dimension of life. That dimension, which Jesus showed. He showed what is the cross. Cross is this. It's a horizontal, around the mountain, where nothing is going on, and there's a vertical, where Christ is pointing, ascension. You have to discover that vertical path, ascension to the top of the mountain of existence. This is the greatest opportunity of being alive. This is your adventure here. Adventure of being alive. That's what we are talking about here. What is the adventure of being alive? Is life a boredom? Well,
Helen Keller said it best. Life is either a daring adventure or it's nothing at all.
Exactly. Yeah. Helen Keller said, and that's so true. That's what it is. Even Jordan Peterson is talking about it in bringing examples of Abraham, and it's so true. It's so real.
Job and Abraham.
Yeah.
Well, Cain and Abel.
And all the great novels, all Lord of the Ring and everything. I mean, everything is a story of adventure. Without adventure, there's no life. It's just stagnation. And you deserve much more than stagnation.
What about Nietzsche's Beyond Good and Evil?
Well,
that's exactly what we're talking about, actually.
So, see...
He said you have to see beyond good and evil. You have to see the essence of life.
All those phenomenal artists and thinkers and poets and scientists and all of them composers like Beethoven and Mozart, and all of them are great rebels and great climbers of the mountain of awakening, of awareness. They're going up and up. And they're calling on you. Every book is calling on you. Every great movie you see is calling upon you. Don't take it lightly. It's your life at stake. Your life at stake. All right? So, it's already 31st of December. So happy coming New Year. And we wish you the best in this upcoming New Year, and we wish you to get out of any kind of complacency in New Year.
Yeah.
Any kind of compromise, any kind of belonging to any herd on any level.
Any herd mentality.
Let it go. Let it be. Leave it in this year. Step into New Year free. And
let your potentiality explode. Let your creativity rupture like a volcano, and let everybody who judges you go to hell.
Okay.
That's my New Year's resolution. Love and peace. Give us your thumbs up, your comments, and subscribe.
Let's continue the conversation. The adventure that life is. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's support each other in this great journey that our life offers to us from now on forward.
And let's slap fear in the face that stops us from doing what we really want to do, but we're afraid of failure, or we're afraid of judgment, or we're afraid we won't make enough the money to pay the rent. Because it's just like the universe works in miraculous ways, but it's just like the exact opposite. We'll talk to you soon.
Love and peace.